dive coasters, wooden coasters, and launch coasters. I'm Roller Coaster David, and this is Coasting into Liseberg. After 2 fantastic days at Energylandia riding Zadra and Hyperion, I caught an early flight from Krakow to the Swedish city of Gothenburg and made my way to Liseberg, a park located just a short distance from the city centre. Since my last visit to the park, it added Valkyria, a B&M dive coaster that I was really looking forward to riding, along with re-riding Boulder and Helix, which are 2 fantastic coasters. It's my second time visiting this park. It's really good fun. Unfortunately, it is incredibly busy today. There's just so many people here. It's just been crazy queues. So all the big coasters have had at least an hour-long queue most of the time. I think Helix is currently sitting at about 2 hours, which is less than ideal. But I've still got a couple of rides in it, and Boulder as well, and I managed to get a couple of fast tracks by booking in advance. Helix is definitely my favourite here, and it's a pretty amazing coaster. I remember seeing the initial concept animations for it and following its construction, and it looks fantastic with a truly unique layout. Built by the German company Mack, Helix is a multi-launch terrain coaster with inversions, twists, airtime, and amazing pasting. The station has an epic soundtrack to listen to whilst you wait to ride, and it doesn't take long to get going, as straight out of the station you're into an inversion before a left turn takes you into the first launch. Now, if I had a criticism of Helix, it would be that the launches are a bit underwhelming. They're certainly adequate for the ride, and it doesn't feel slow by any means, but the rate of acceleration does feel a little on the weak side, especially if you compare it to the launches on Taran or the second launch on Maverick. I've never really been that blown away by the launches on Mack coasters in general though, as the ones on Icon and Copperhead Strike are equally underwhelming. After the first launch, the ride twists all around the hill it's built on, with some great elements, including a rare Norwegian loop, and a fantastic zero-G roll. In total, there's 7 inversions, but that's not all the ride offers. There's some truly incredible airtime moments in the ride too, with one after the second launch that gives a spectacular view of the city, as you experience some very strong negative G-force. So just had a front seat ride on Helix, which was really good fun, but the annoying thing is the operation seems to be a bit odd. They went down to single train operations for a while, which for a park when it's as busy as this isn't good. Then they had a lot of faff putting trains on and off again, which was less than ideal, so the queue's been quite slow. Hopefully it'll get better later, we'll see. Night rides on Helix are really something special too, and the lit up train looks amazing as it streaks across the hillside. Boulder is also a great coaster. It was the second Intamin prefab wooden coaster to be built, following on from Colossus in Germany, and when it opened it had the steepest drop of any wooden coaster, a record it held until the opening of El Toro 3 years later. It may not be the tallest wooden coaster out there, but it packs a powerful punch, with the first hill in particular giving some incredible injector airtime. Compared to the other Intamin prefab woodies, Colossus, El Toro and T-Express, it has a very compact layout and squeezes a lot of track into a small footprint. The pacing's good in the straight sections and hills, but towards the end it does feel a little slow, as the train seems to be running out of energy. These sections only detract a little from a fantastic ride though, and the airtime sections that follow more than make up for it. It gets even better at night too, as the sensation of speed with the wood flying past you in the dark makes it even more intense. On my travels, I've managed to ride all the Intamin prefab wooden coasters now, and I remember riding T-Express thinking how similar the latter half of it was to Boulder, and that's because it is. After some much bigger drops, this South Korean coaster actually has a layout that's nearly identical to Boulder, although it did feel like it ran a little bit faster through it. The theme section of the park Boulder's in is also home to Loki, a huge Intamin gyro swing, and completing the Viking themed section is their newest coaster, Valkyria. This B&M dive coaster opened in 2018, and is one of the smaller dive coasters when compared to the likes of Yukon Striker or Shikra, but it's a great addition to Liseberg's coaster lineup. The queue line and station are really quite nicely themed, and fit well with the rest of the Viking area. The station in particular looks fantastic, and there's some cool Raven shadow projections on the walls that add to the atmosphere just before you ride. It's quite short, but good fun for what it is. It's supposed to be coloured gold, but I don't think it actually looks all that gold. It looks kind of more yellowy browny. Not quite the look they were going for, I think. The ride itself compares pretty well with the other smaller dive coasters, but I think I only really fully appreciated it when riding it at night. When it's dark, the lighting looks amazing, and the first drop is into this misty blue tunnel that almost seems like a portal to another world. At night, the view you get from the top as well is absolutely stunning, with the park lit up with hundreds of lights. Unlike the other coasters, because of the slow suspenseful turn and the hold before the drop, you actually get time to appreciate this view as well. It looks amazing. Valkyria replaced Canonin, a ride that was still operating during my previous visit to the park. This was still a fun ride despite being one of the smaller Intamin launch coasters, but with the park's addition of Helix, it had become a bit obsolete. There are however some rumours that this coaster might resurface in the not too distant future at the Lost Island Water Park in America. Rounding off the adult coaster selection is Liseberg Banan, or Lesbian Banana as I've heard it called by some. This is the oldest coaster still operating in the park, and it's a real classic, said to be Anton Schwarzkopf's favourite coaster at the time. The layout consists of many high-speed swooping sections, and it stays close to the ground, which greatly adds to the sensation of speed. There's some really great moments on the ride too, where it interacts with Helix, and you see the other train zoom past you, which looks especially good at night. Another great thing about this coaster is it's got incredibly high capacity, which was fantastic on a day like today where it was busy. It can run up to 5 trains at the same time, which allows for 2,000 people to ride per hour, a feat not many modern coasters can match. The park frequently holds live concerts as well, which are included in your admission price, and I was lucky enough to attend on one of these days. It's the final Saturday in August here, and later on there's actually a rock concert, punk rock concert, for a Swedish band called Strevers, which I've not heard of, but apparently they were big in the 80s in Sweden. After watching the band for a short time, I decided to do the park's upcharge Haunted Hotel attraction, located next to where they were playing, and after that, I got a nice, expensive pint in the nearby bar. So just at the Haunted Hotel they have here at Liseberg, it's pretty well done. It's very well paced. It's got some quiet bits in it which sort of amp up the tension, and then sort of spooks throughout it and jump scares. It's very, very detailed as well. That's one thing that I noticed. It's one of the most well-detailed haunted houses I've been in. But it's a very good one. It's well worth doing if you come here. In addition to coasters, Liseberg also has a decent selection of flat rides, including a screaming swing that pushes you out over the edge of the hill it's built on, adding to the excitement if you're afraid of heights. There's also Mechanica, a Zero star shape, which is quite an uncommon flat ride to find in parks. My final ride of the day, though, would be on Atmosphere, the park's huge drop tower. So just finished up the night with a ride on Atmosphere, the giant drop tower they have here. It's very well done. It's a huge drop, and the view you get out over Gothenburg is just absolutely stunning. It works really well with sort of a suspenseful build-up as well. It's got sort of a soundtrack that plays, and it moves up ever so slowly. And then the drop at the top, I think it's not a preset amount of time. It can vary from a short time to a long time, so you don't really know when it's going to drop, and then when it does, it's breathtaking. Fun way to end the night. Anyway, it's time for me to head back and say goodbye to Liseberg. Overall, Liseberg is a great park with a fantastic selection of coasters and rides. Valkyria has been a great addition to the park, and the combination of Helix and Boulder is really hard to beat in Europe. So it's been a fun day at Liseberg today, which you can see in the background. Tomorrow I'm off to Oslo on a bus in the morning to go to Tusenfryd, which is my first time there. Tusenfryd would also be a milestone park for me, and I was really looking forward to riding Speed Monster, as it looked like a fantastic coaster. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video looking at Liseberg in Sweden. For more content from me, be sure to subscribe and check out some of the other episodes I've made. For now, I've been Rollercoaster David, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video very soon.